just me and Bruiser today, pulling up to one of my favorite stops, a beautiful Corvette Grand Sport Heritage Edition. Just a bi-weekly maintenance wash that this car went through a major, like 56-hour detail last year. So now we're maintaining. All right, guys, it's I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but it is it's drizzling out here, so I don't know, that's going to create an issue. What we'll probably do is wash it and do all that stuff outside and then dry it off in the garage in there. So we'll get it taken care of. Alright, so we just pulled up over here to Lonnie's house, and Lonnie has these two beautiful cars that went through a pretty serious protection package. Both are loaded with clear bras and both are ceramic coated, including the wheels and all, the glass, the wheels, the paint, the plastic, the trim, everything. So these aren't too bad to maintain. Alright guys, it's been a minute since we set up on some PPF talk. I think about 2-3 weeks. So we've been running the van pretty heavy, and just seems that our calling right now has been paint corrections and ceramic coating. So we're knocking them out. But we got two or three PPF jobs right now on the schedule. We've got a little bit of time spread out through the next few weeks, but right now we're pretty much booking the second week in April. So, you know, unfortunately, some of the PPF work that we get calls from, they want it done right then and there, and I completely understand about protecting a car as soon as you get it, but the difficulty that I face, it's a temporary deal, but what I face is this small garage that I work in, right? So we do one car at a time. That's it. That's all we do. We need this area to set up for PPF, and you know, we can keep another car here, but we just don't have room to work on that car. Not and get in the way. You just can't. You can't. Like, we're doing paint corrections and things, rolling around cars. I don't want to run the risk of bumping a car or something like that. You know, 2 cars could technically be done in here if you really wanted to get to it. We can park 2 cars in here easy. We could park 2 Dodge 2500 trucks right here if we wanted to. But I've just always worked on 1 car at a time. So we get these calls, and they're so difficult to pass up. But like Friday afternoons and Mondays, throughout the day on Monday, we get these calls where people have purchased cars over the weekend, and just sometimes just inquiries too. The inquiries are the ones that we usually can turn into a real customer, because the inquiry, the person that's inquiring, is looking at purchasing that vehicle, you know, upcoming. He hasn't already taken possession of it, or she. So the inquiries are what we're usually able to capture. The right-of-way customers, we just don't have the facility nor the manpower, so we miss those just about every week. That's tough, guys, but we keep a schedule, you know, and that's just how we do it. That's how we run efficiently. I like doing it on a schedule basis. I'm a schedule type person, so although I procrastinate on some things. But anyways, we got this one. It's a new little GMC Denali, and we're doing some expel work on it. So we'll talk about how we're going to protect that here in a few minutes. But I just wanted to catch you guys up and show you we're back at the house today. Gonna do some detailing, gonna do some protection, and we got another one getting dropped off. Paint correction and ceramic coating. So we're doing a little interior cleaning in the Denali here. We'll get these windows right here, little windows. Check out the shape of those things, guys. So my index finger is a wild shape, I tell you. From the outside it looks like this, and from the inside it looks like that. I don't know, pretty cool. But anyways, kind of sprucing up this interior a little bit. We didn't have to, it wasn't part of it, but you know, always go the extra mile. Special delivery. Alright guys, so here is what we're going to be replacing. This is the lower bumper and a fender flare. There was an accident with the lower bumper and a fender flare, so we removed them, cleaned it up, and now we're going to replace them. And we're prepping the F-250 now. We're starting this interior process before it gets its decontamination wash. And we have got our smallest roll that we carry, which is here. That's a 24-inch roll, and we keep that here for small pieces. Usually little repair areas like that, guys, these by us using a smaller roll of film, you know, like there's certain companies across the industry that have like flat rate per foot. But you know, we try to use these small rolls when we can. One, to cut cost on the customer's end, and two, that way we're not wasteful. That's what the big thing is not wasting it. So that's something cool that we started doing. What's up? So we got this F-250 that we talked to you guys about yesterday, that we were going to be starting a multi-step paint correction on and all. We're getting pretty deep into this thing, and it's coming out very nicely. We've got all these bed areas, as you can see here, a little dusty because we're still working, but all this side here down has been compounded and polished, and then we have started a compound approach to the upper portions of the truck, and also the hood as well has been compounded. It has picked up a lot of gloss, guys. A lot of correction can be found. You can see the little bit of marring there from the compounding process, but you can also see here it's marred up from where we compounded it. But I'll show you. Here's after it's been polished. So I mean, it's I want to give it a solid 85%. I think that's a fair number. And here is some befores. As you can see, we haven't done any of this, so major improvements, as you can see there. But it's coming out nice, guys. It's just taking a lot of time. Here's some befores of the bed, so you can see how bad it was when we started. So we got about right now we're about a day and a half into this thing ish, right around there. So we've got to polish the roof, the upper portions, polish the hood, and compound and polish this side, and also the tailgate. As you can see here, everything we do is a nice touch to that. JT really throwing down with the Ruby's hybrid right now, guys, getting in those tight areas. That's always super important. We've got a little bit of a lean on the machine there to try to get up close, so it slows the rotation of the pad down. But that little bit of forward lean in the machine can allow the way a pad is designed. Hold on a minute, we'll go over here and we'll talk about it. What I think, what JT and I have discussed over the past is slightly putting the tilt, not a crazy tilt. Now, if you put a massive tilt on you put a major tilt on a dual action polisher, you stop the rotation and you create unwanted marring in tight areas. That'll make sense to some and not to others, but the guys that it makes sense to will understand what I mean by that. So let's discuss a slight lean real quick. I'm gonna get a pad here where I can demonstrate this. This was a compounding pad we just used. All right, let's use this for an example, like right here. So if you go in like this, you see that it's really hard to get that area there. So, but if you put a bit of a lean on it, you can get that area. So that's what I mean by a slight lean to tighten up your edges. That really does make a big difference when it's all said and done, guys. Just the tidiness of the job. I don't even know if that's a word, but we'll make tidiness a word today. But it seems to really make a big difference. So the big, like the 5.5 inch pads, you know, you tidy up like that, like what I just showed you. And then let me show you a demonstration on this real quick, something that I have found. All right, so let's talk about these 2 inch pads and how to tidy up with those. Like what you just saw JT doing there. But you see here, you can lean this in a little bit and get a little bit closer down on that edge like that. So you can tidy up in areas that, and then like also these rolled edges here, you know, like here's a door handle and you come up, you know, you roll these edges slightly and you get that tidy look. You polish all the way up to the line. So I don't know, there's a whole lot of information out there about polishing. That's a little something that we do here, but we do not roll and angle the machine to where it induces unwanted extra marring. We don't want to mar it up any more than we have to mar it up when we compound it, because all that does is make our polishing steps more involved, more difficult. And then when you add more involved and more difficult, you add time, and time is money. So we try to be as efficient as possible and get the most out of your vehicle's appearance with the amount of time that we've quoted on the vehicle, because we do try to do everything on an hourly rate basis. But you know, we keep all the proper machines and the techniques and all that so that we can perform professional results in an affordable time frame with great outcomes. That's our ultimate goal here. Started. Yeah. Hey, listen. Here I am. I'm gonna come back to you about pad lean. I'm not trying to get hung up on this subject by any means, but I got the rupees here, a little hybrid, and what we're working on, as you can see, hold on a minute, let me set this hybrid down on the microfiber. So you can see that, I'll put you right here so you can see the angle. It comes up, that's like a 90-degree lip, and then it comes over, and this is more of like a 45-degree lip, as you can see there. That's like a 45, all right? So, let me show you here. So if you take a pad, this is another area where you have to do a pad lean. The same kind of process that I was just talking about. As you can see there, I've got the pad at the right angle and I got an overthrow. If you see the overthrow there, so that's working a flat surface. You know, it's a little bit different than what I was just explaining a minute ago, but it's a similar concept as well. So I just wanted you to see that when working a 45-degree angle, you'll have some of the pad. If it's a large 45, the whole pad could be on it. But if it's a short 45 like we have here, you got pad overhang. So that hit me. I wanted to just kind of follow up on it. Drop some thoughts if you know if you got any suggestions or want to discuss that. After about a day and a half of compounding and polishing on this thing, it's kind of raining outside. I pulled it out here, rinsed it down to remove all the little bit of compounding dust that can be found in some of the cracks and crevices, and everybody knows about this product, Carpro Hydro 2. It is it's killer, guys. It's a great spray on, rinse off sealant. So check it out. So you just spray it on like that there, and you can see the silica there. You can see where it was sprayed, and then you just rinse. Look at that beading action. Very nice, guys. That's silica for you. Silica's an incredible product. I mean, that's like, I'm not gonna say it revolutionized the car care industry, but it definitely made a huge hit in it.